Hey, JulesBlessedVegan, and welcome to day 82 of our 100-day countdown to the best version of ourselves in the new year. I'm a little breathy today. I'm getting over a cold, but because of my asthma, forgive me if I'm a little breathy. Anyway, I'm happy to be here, and I wanted to talk about communication and the importance of clear communication. What I find is that often, especially if it's people that you care most about and you feel they should just know what you're thinking, let's not presume that, because people aren't clairvoyant, they're not psychic, and as much as they love you, you may be sending mixed messages, especially if it's something that you're, hurt by. So it's super important that you actually say aloud what your truth is. And if it's something where you just don't feel safe or you're afraid that you're going to be rejected, you could, of course, share with a confidant. You could totally go to like a 12-step meeting, which is such a blessing because they are anonymous, and they actually have them online as well, and it doesn't get more anonymous than that. And also, if you need to, not a full-on journal, but you could just take a paper and do a cold write and just go for broke, and then with your cold write, read it to yourself, sit with it. It might be something you want to pray about, and then ultimately you can just rip it up or throw it away. So that's a consideration. But what I know is that people want to feel heard. And when they don't let go of issues, it's usually because they don't feel affirmed or they don't feel heard. And I see it every day in my classroom. And I do think of those children as mini-me's, They're just trying to find their way. If they come from a family where there's a lot of yelling, because the people don't know how to communicate clearly, inevitably they're yelling in my classroom. If they come from a parent who is introverted and quiet and mousy and afraid to tell their story, this is exactly how they are in my classroom. I can kind of call it family for family. So what I do is I attempt to teach them how to communicate. So when they're totally upset and pouting, and I try and get to the bottom of it, but I wanted to tell them, but I knew they wouldn't listen. I started to tell them, but they walked away. Well, did you get their attention? No, but still, they should have known. Let's stop assuming people know. That's half the problem right there. Can you get the person's undivided attention? Give eye contact and actually say how you're feeling? It's a risk. There's no question it's a risk. They might not respond how you want. On the other hand, they may even respond better than you want. And if they clearly understand you, they may even change their behavior towards you, which would just be an all-around blessing in most circumstances, right? So I just think it's so important that we take a moment to truly communicate. But that said, even though whatever your feelings are, they aren't right or wrong, they just are, you still have responsibility for them and how you act on them. So it may mean taking a moment of quietness, a moment of reflection, holding off a day before you approach the topic. Or like I said, journaling about it and then letting it go. It doesn't always belong to the other person, even though the feelings are true for you. So let's accept that straight up. Whatever you feel is real, but what you do with it, that's where the responsible adult comes in. What are you doing with those feelings and how are you acting on them? So that's just all. It came up because I had to call two parents, and as much as I have asthma, and I do, I am allergic to parents. Is that a real thing? It seems like it to me. That feeling is real for me. Don't shame me. It just seems real to me because I can't see them. They're on the other end of the phone. I have no idea what they've been processing. Half the time, they've been processing from information just on a screen as well. So they're like reading into it or getting tones that don't exist. And I have to kind of do that cold call to, address their concern or allow them to share. And I don't know what's going to come at me. So it does make it hard for me to breathe, but I fake it till I make it. I trust that God is present in the conversation and that though words can certainly hurt, to my knowledge, they can't kill, unless they're a directive. But anyway, that's kind of where it came from. I was panicking over calling parents. I took a deep breath. I just thought God is in the conversation, and whatever comes, somehow I'll deal with it, or I won't, because it's the parents' option to pull the kids from my class. And at this school, more than any other, they do that. think I've lost 3 kids this year already. And it's like, okay, the parent thinks they're doing the best by their child. I think the child could grow in my class. I always learn and grow from whatever their feedback is, whether it's applicable or not. It was their perception, and I know that that's real. And I do take a moment to reconsider, see what applies to me, see what I can change, or, pray about it and let go. So that's kind of where I'm at. So what's your story with communication? Is there anything you want to reconsider? But until we talk again and I breathe a little better, I will find you back here tomorrow. And in the meantime, stay blessed.